Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and I'm here to do a little fall ephemera thing again. Kind of what I've been doing. But I thought it'd be fun to play with these leaves again like we did in that last journal. I wanted to do something on the sides of the pages, or this is just one page, but you know, it's like 2 pages in the journal, if that makes sense. But yeah, so I thought it would be fun to play with that and see if we could make it look good. I think I need a few more. Are these green ones? Oh, they're a little bit different. Some of them I got last year and some I got this year. And again, I got these at the dollar store, and I go to Dollar Tree. I don't know if these are everywhere or what, but that's where I got them. I don't think I have any other ones. I wish you could buy just the burlap looking ones, because those are the ones that I like the best, but we'll see what we can come up with here. Some of these ones are a little different. And then I have burlap and other stuff, and we'll ink these leaves because they're a little bit too, you know, like bright and stuff. Alright, so that's what we're going to do. And this wasn't my idea. I saw this either on Pinterest or Instagram. I don't know. Just flipping through, and I don't even really know exactly how they did it. I didn't analyze it. I just saw the leaves on the side of the page and thought that looked fun. So that's what I'm doing. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Just getting going here. I'm on a slow-mo this morning for some reason. That happens though quite often. I just get, well, I had to clean off my desk. It was completely destroyed. I pretty much worked on that journal all day yesterday. And so, yeah, it was just getting out of control, so to say. Speaker say, or whatever. I'm going to cut these sides off. I like how it's finished, but it's kind of thick. So this is just burlap. Or Hessian, depending on where you live. And I know it comes in all different widths as far as the weave. So I'm thinking that sort of thing here. This one's really big. I only have one of these orange ones, so only one page is going to get one of the burlap orange ones. I do like them when they're inked up. They look kind of cool. Could probably make some out of that cloth that I got from Vintage Polka Dot Shop. Cut some out. Don't know how tricky that would be, but and I thought it might be fun to add like a piece of lace or something. I just don't want it to look the same all the way down. And we might even want to do like a ticket or something of that nature. Stamp. Kind of like we did that belly band last time, basically, is what I'm thinking. These are already made stamps. Oh, where are my funky little scissors? So yeah, hope you guys are doing good. My kids are at school. And my daughter just really does not like that drive. I kind of knew that was going to be the case, but you know, it's hard when you are just turning 18 and she just didn't feel ready to move out and stuff, so she didn't, and so that drive is kind of getting to her, but I think she'll be okay. And I decided to put the leaves upside down instead of right side up, just because I didn't want the point like sticking off the page. If that makes sense. I mean, I could have not stuck it off the page, but it just seemed like the right way to go that way. These yellow ones, I'm not sure if I'm going to use those. They're just very, wow, bright. It's always interesting when you're doing this stuff. I really think it needs a burlap one here. I want it to go this way though. And I do want them to hang off a little bit, you know, so you can see them through the edge of the journal. And I need something else. A piece of this. You could also use fabric or other types of book page. And it's a piece of this old paper. I just want the text. Love old paper, it tears so easy. So yeah, never done this, obviously, since I'm like, yes, no, but I like the look. I think this needs to get inked a little. It's kind of like a whole collage thingy on the side of the page. Let's see. Oh, let me see if I have something already cut out. I think I might have to try one of these little darker ones, maybe. I don't know why I don't like that, but I don't. So what I'll do is just tack these down on the side of the page here, and then I will sew it. But you wouldn't have to sew, you could just glue them down. These little kids are cute. Something like that might be kind of fun. Just a whole fall thing happening. Let's do that. Let me ink around this. And the good part about these leaves is they're very lightweight, which I like when I'm doing the edge of the page thing. Okay. So I think I'm going to use my tacky glue, just not super thick. Oh, I never inked that. So yeah, I don't remember if they had other things with the leaves. I just saw it, you know how you do, flipping through or whatever, and thought, oh, those would be fun, and just never really fully grasped what was happening there. But I don't want to make it thick, I just want a thin layer, because like I said, I am going to stitch it, but I'll wait for it to dry. I won't stitch it until it's dry. This little guy at the top. one's going to go down here more, so the lace was next. Okay, put this down. I'm not going to hang this off a whole ton because it is old book page and I don't want it to break off. I mean, little pieces might still, I don't know, but I'm trying not to get it too fragile on the edge there. Like that kind of askew. So yeah, sorry I'm quiet today. I don't really... That's kind of the interesting part about working from home, which I didn't have before because I worked at the school. I forgot this piece needs to go kind of there. You know, I had a little bit more things to talk about or whatever, but it's been just kind of quiet and not a whole lot going on, which I always love. I like when things are not too crazy. Probably pull it down just a little here. Something like that. I think I need to ink that lace just a little bit. So just kind of quiet today, but if you've got stuff to work on too, you can just work on it. And these are from my Porch Prints, and it's Prints. When I first started hearing people talk about it, I thought it was like P-R-I-N-C-E, like Prince. Just because, you know, it's just when you say it all together, it kind of sounds like that. So anyway, is that one glued? Yes. So yeah, I like it. I think it's cute, and it's not thick at all. Very thin, and I'll stitch it. And that'll be fun to have in there, just a couple pages of that. Okay, let's see. And I may end up going back with like my art glitter glue and tacking some stuff down a little bit more, but for now that'll work just to hold it in place. So what do we want to use first? How about a piece of this? That's from Vintage Polka Dot Shop. I keep forgetting to link it because I'm a dingling. So if you don't, like, if you've not been there, over there or whatever, just let me know and I'll try to remember to link it. I just stink at that kind of stuff. I try, and like yesterday I forgot to put Lorie Edwards in my link in the description box, and I went back and added her. I just struggle with it, remembering all that. I'm just going to go ahead and add this one because I kind of am going to do basically very similar to what I did over there. Just leave them hang off just a little. Okay, and then we'll probably use these silk leaves first since we need to use more of them than the, I don't have as many of the burlap ones, so. Just like putting the leaf in the ink. That kind of. Okay, there's that one. And then what do we want to put? Let's do a piece of this lace. And then burlap. I just cut it kind of at an angle so it doesn't look so perfectly. So let's put that under and that over just because you'll be able to see the lace better. And I'll use a green burlap one. I'll turn it this way this time. And I do have more of the kids, but they're not cut out. I really like that right there. Oh, I have this little girl climbing in an apple tree. She might be kind of cute. Okay, I'll just tuck it like that more. Would be cute. And then piece of lace. Let's use some maybe green. No, I don't like the green with it. Brown. Probably another orangey leaf or something. Could do a green, but because I got these two oranges together, but I kind of think I like that. And then, where's my book page? Can't even see the burlap, so I'll have to play with that a little bit. It's really wide. Kind of do the same thing at the bottom on both of them. We could move the burlap down here instead because it's not visible up there at all. And we'll put that under there. Okay, I think I got it now. It's always interesting with all the junk on the table, huh? Could use one of my little ticket thingies here. That'll be good. Okay. Right, so I need to ink her. There's a little spot there that I didn't cut out. Punch that hole out. It's not going to be exact, but you may not even see it anyway once I tuck it under the leaf, but I just like to have them punched out and rough them up. Alright, I think I got the inking done for the moment. Let's see here. So we're going to put down this piece of lace. Tacking it down, you know. I'm probably going to want this underneath of that. Put a little more than I needed to on there. Oh, it was the other one, huh? Let's go this way. Little girl. Turn this just a little bit more. Just gonna kind of go like that, I think, and then this goes here. Hang this off the side. Before I had her like that more so you can see both of her feet, and I kind of like that better. Okay. Let's just tack her down. The sewing is going to be interesting with this because I don't want to like go through her face or something. Bring her over to this side just a touch. Might help. And this. Sorry, I just have to think sometimes when I'm doing these things. Or as we know, I start gluing things upside down and all kinds of stuff. When you don't want them upside down. Okay. There's this leaf now. Do I want to go the other way? Maybe this way's better. I'm talking to lace. It's always effective. Tuck this under here. I kind of scoot everything up that way, didn't I, when I glued it down? That's fine. Put it right there. And I'm okay with it being wrinkled, of course, because that's the way I like it. Okay, and then I will stitch right through that. So yeah, I think that's fun. So there's that side, and then when it's on the page, you'll just see some goodness hanging out. All right. These, I don't know, they may be a little crazy. I'm gonna take that one off. That's the only thing about burlap is it just starts to come apart. So let's put a little dot of glue right here. Hopefully we can get these to stay. That's why that seam on the edge is really good, but it's just, I just don't want the thickness of it. Plus it limits, you know, what you can do with it, so. Alright, so I think that's fun, and I'll stitch it in a minute, but I want to make sure it's dry, so we're going to do something else while we wait for that to dry. Okay. So I did a pocket in the journal yesterday. I'm holding my place where that page goes. Not that it's that hard to remember, it's one of the last ones, but... So this is one of the tall pockets that's in this kit, Autumn Vibes, but I cut the flap off again, and I don't know why, I just wanted the flap off. And then I just added lace here, so it opens, just it won't flop open because the lace is kind of, you know, making it close again. So you can right here, and I just took a piece of coffee dyed paper and folded it to basically fit the envelope, and then just glued it down. So it's like a giant hinge, really, is what that is. But we need something to go in this pocket. So that's what I wanted to work on. I have these book pages that we can use. I wanted to use some mushrooms from my Fall is in the Air digi, but I'm looking at them thinking they might be too big. Oh, and I want to tell you guys that Lorie over at Enchanted Dreams 71 told me yesterday that she's going to do a journal using my Autumn Vibes, not my Autumn Vibes, my Fall is in the Air digital. So if she's going to start that, or do a flip through of it on Friday. I think she's already got it done. She just is going to do the flip through on Friday. So if you want to check that out, I'm sure she would love to have you over there. Because as I've said before, she's a newer channel, and you know, it's always tricky getting going. She's doing pretty good though. Oh my goodness, Amy. I mean, you don't have to do this, because like you can see my glue page didn't stick together entirely, because I would stitch around that anyway, but sometimes I just like to tack them down when they're really flopping and not stuck together very well. Alright, so what are we going to put on there? Like I said, I wanted to use these, but like this one's way too wide. I could use the little one still, but it's so short. So that just may not work at all. I just might end up putting those somewhere, like on a page or whatever. So where did I put all of my scraps that I had out? My goodness. See, this is what happens. I clean up the mess, and then I can't find anything. It is a dilemma. But you leave the mess and you can't find anything either, so I don't know what the solution is. If I was highly organized, that would probably help. I'm semi-organized. Oh, we could use a little bit of this that Laurel sent. Drawing a blank there for a minute, Laurel, sorry. It is fun to use the card or paper or whatever, and knocking over all my spray bottle things. Let me see. It is kind of cool how this went a little bit rusty, at least for my fall journal here. Just be my kind of background. You just never know when you're printing stuff. It's always interesting, isn't it, how it comes out different than what it looks like originally. I'm always perplexed by that. It's kind of cool. This is out of my Fall is in the Air. I kind of want to use some of her. There's a whole lot left. I like this one. It's just not really tall enough. This way. Could use a mushroom out of here maybe, except I really only have the big fat ones left, don't I? I know I've got a couple of these, but they're not much taller than mine. See, this is just puny. It's a puny one. That one would work. I love these ones, but they're just too wide, I think. Maybe if I trimmed off some of the white. I think it's just too wide. That's a bummer, because I love that one. That's just two same color ish. I struggle with these long tags. They just really get me every time. Sit and look at it and hem and haw about it. I just can't seem to visualize it. Like, I'm fine with the rectangle ones, you know, the other direction. But for some reason, these ones just, I really have a hard time. It's too much narrow up and down kind of thing, I think. Take a little bit more off this side, I think. Okay, bring it to this side more. I'm just that might work. What else? It needs something else. Guys ready to choke me yet? Kind of like that hole. That'll give it a little color too, at least. And then oh, I know what else. This way. One's too big. I'm just going through these. I don't know if you can even see. I don't want a huge one. 25 cents a pound. I don't know. For pumpkins, they're usually priced each, but we'll just do it that way. It's fine. It's fine. All right. So we need ink. We need to clear off our glue book because I set everything on top of it. Let's rough that up a little bit. It's so quiet when nobody's home. I mean, it's usually quiet during my videos just because, you know, we can't have like music playing or whatever, but it's just really quiet. I mean, my little cats are here, but they're quiet this morning too. Must be sleeping. They're not as active, I don't think, when the kids aren't home. They take a rest. I'm gonna punch that hole out. I think lots of people are working on fall stuff. I have so many things I want to make. You know, when I see people doing things, like I gotta get all my stuff done first. This one's just about done though. We should probably sew in the signature to show everybody how I do that. I think I'll put this one down first because I'm going to kind of squish it. And this is just that painter's masking paper in green. You can get it at Home Depot. I think you might be able to get it at Lowe's too. Just, you know, home. Wherever you get painting stuff, essentially. I think you can find. And there's different colors. Like, I know Home Depot has that pink color. That kind of dusty rose, you know, and then everybody seems to carry the craft color, which makes sense. And then there's this color. That's all I think I've seen. I don't know, there may be other ones too. I'm not sure why they have them in so many colors. Well, they seem to be different weights is kind of what I think the deal is. There, roughly. We could put a little. I just put the brads away and now I need the brads again. These ones in here are kind of a nice bronze color. And again, I've just had these forever because I used to use them in scrapbooking. Oh my goodness, I can't get these little tiny things. Afraid I'm going to rip the paper is what the problem is. Okay, so I just stuck it right through, as you can see. And then we'll glue it down. Let's glue this one down first. I don't think it needs anything special. Got a piece of the book there. I always have to make some kind of mess when I'm doing this. It's a good thing it's a junk journal, right? Because that was kind of my dilemma always with scrapbooking, is everything had to be cut, you know, measured, cut perfectly and all that. And so there were times when I did not excel at that. A little extra glue where the brad is, just, I mean, I doubt it would go anywhere, but just want it to stay put. And I ended up covering up most of Laurel's paper there. You can't even really see the doily. It's always tricky, isn't it? Okay, we need to back it. Let's put some coffee dye paper, and I need to get rid of this piece of paper because it's a mess. All right, let's see, let's tear an edge off. So yeah, this isn't the most exciting adventure today, but you know, just some days you just gotta finish some stuff up. The leaves were kind of cool though. That was a little bit different anyway. Yeah, I wish I knew who I saw using it so that I could give credit, you know, where credit's due. It was just one of those things where, like I said, I was like, oh, that'd be fun, and scooched on, and then I couldn't find it again, so I was just winging it. Which side? I like the more coffee color side. Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to stitch around this as well, so I'll probably pause, stitch around my items, my pages and that, and then I will come back and I'll show you guys how it looks. I don't think I got that very centered. That's how I do it. If you're looking for perfection, you're not going to find it here. Okay, and then I've been kind of just taking a piece of fabric or whatever. I'll take a piece of this. And kind of just putting it through the hole. And then I saw Eve at Scrapbooking with Me do this. She just kind of, you know, clips them and then she just stitches across there, and I thought that's genius because then you don't end up with that big fat knot right there. So I like that. So that's kind of what I've been doing and it works great. So I'm going to stitch around that and I'll stitch my leaves and stuff down and then we'll see what it looks like. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I stitched around that and that will go in. Oh, actually I'm going to go ahead and leave it out because I took all of my goodies out of the pockets because I'm going to go ahead and stitch in the signature, just one signature, but I will show you these. So there's that all stitched. I'm ready to go. I was worried about going through her face and then I ended up having to go right down the middle of those two. I'm just glad I didn't actually get their little faces. But see, it looks kind of cool all hanging out like that. So we're going to go ahead and sew in our signature. And in a one signature journal, this is quite a bit easier because you obviously just have one signature to deal with instead of, you know, 2 or 3, however many. I've never done more than 3. 3 just, that just is my max, really. I'm always amazed when I see people do 5 and all that. I just think, wow, that's a lot. I mean, it takes a lot just to, you know, put one whole signature together and stuff. So I like to, you know, fiddle with these a little bit just to make sure that all my pages are down in the center. because I just don't want them to be off at all. Okay, I think that's good. And then I'm going to put it as best I can centered on here as well. Try to, you know, get it equal distance apart. And then it's going to sit in my little, this is my book cradle, and my husband 3D prints these for me, and you can get them on my Etsy shop. And you can see there's like a little divot down in here, so when you have the journal sitting in here, your awl can go right down in there, and it gives you a nice spine. You know, the awl is going to come right out and leave a hole right on the spine instead of maybe out this side or out the other side. Sorry, I'm not holding out in the light. So instead of, you know, possibly coming out the back or the front, you're going to come out right through the middle, which is very helpful to me because I quite often would make that mistake where I would poke, or, you know, not meaning to, but thinking I had it and then I didn't. So what I do is I'm unclipping this and I'm pushing down in the middle. And I'll do the same at this end. Unclip my clip and then let it go. I just want to make sure that paper's down there all the way. And then I usually check to make sure that these are all even and that I have about equal distance, top and bottom. And you can measure all this if you want to, and I definitely measure and do a template and everything when I do a 3 signature journal. This is my template that I use. It's a piece of manila file folder that I folded in half, and then I fold the sides in. Again, I measure it and figure out where I want it, and then make sure you mark it at the top, and then you have your holes where you're going to put your sew in your signature, so they're all even. It's a lot more important when you're doing 3 signatures because you want them all even with each other. You don't want them, you know, like one up higher and the other one down lower in the same journal. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this so I can actually see, and I'm just going to kind of guesstimate middle here, which I'm not good at guesstimating on that. I'm trying not to get my head in the camera is what I'm trying to do. Why it's such a struggle here. Okay. So, do you hear the clunk? That's because it went down into that little divot. And then I do about an inch from the top, and it doesn't have to be exact. And about an inch from the bottom. And that one all the way down, I'm just going to leave it there for a second because I'm going to figure out how much my thread. So you want 3 lengths basically of your journal. 1, 2, 3, and there's lots of, you know, videos on this. Gal Augustinelli's done loads of them, sewing in signatures. She's very, very good at it. And I need my needle, which I used to keep here, but I kept losing it, so I put it in this little box of junk that I have, so that I always know where it's at. And I usually don't use the waxed thread, but because it's the same color as my cover, and this one I'm not covering the spine, because I have that other. So you can see my holes there, there, and there, and they're right on the spine, which, like I said, for me is a godsend because I kind of stink at that. So I'm going to have my ties come, you know, be on the inside of this journal. So I'm going to go through that middle hole. And if you just hold everything nice and snug, then, you know, hopefully you won't have any movement. And then just make sure this string doesn't pull all the way out. So you just want to make sure it stays. So if you grab onto it. And then I go up through the top hole. And everybody does this a little different. Well, not everybody. I mean, there's multiple people that do it the same, and then the same way that Gail does it. Gail does it a little different than I do it. And both ways work. It doesn't matter. It's just your own preference and style. Okay, why is that not wanting to meet up now? I don't want to re-poke a hole. So what I'm going to do, this is my little cheat version, is I'll go through the cover. Sometimes I have to do that. Sometimes I can hit it right on and not have any problem, but I clearly got it off from each other because I was not sure what I did, but there we go. Because you don't want to poke extra holes in your paper if you don't, need to. This needle's kind of fat at the back. Okay, it's not that fat. It's the wax thread. That's why it's not my favorite to use. But like I said, it goes really well with this particular journal. And then I'm going to go from that top hole all the way down to the bottom hole and go back out. And then go back out through my cover. And now they should line up a little bit better. And the tricky part with wax thread is not to go back through the thread. And that's why I don't generally use wax thread. And Gail makes this look 1,000 times easier, so I would definitely advise watching Gail if you are new to journal making. I just wanted to show you that I do use the book cradle and it makes my life easier for the holes. Okay. And that's why you need extra thread. People are often asked, like, why do you need so much? Well, for one, you're sewing it, right? So you're shortening it. But I also like the extra thread because, why is that? Sometimes you do have to, like, move them apart and you don't want it to come unthreaded. So here's my center line of my wax thread. I want one of the ties on one side and one tie on the other side. And so with the wax thread, a lot of times if you go, like, you pierce it when you're coming back through, you can't tighten it tight enough. So that's why it's important not to pierce it. If you do, you need to probably redo it. So I think I got it. I think, yeah, they're separate from each other. So I gotta take these off now so I make sure that they're good. But I lift mine just a little bit because you want those strings tight. You don't want to tear your pages, obviously, but you definitely want it tight. I usually use the, what do they call that? Polyester. It's 100% polyester for upholstery thread. Sorry. Ooh, that was like, no idea what that stuff's called. So you kind of want it like a guitar string, right? Nice and taut, so that your signature is not moving around in there. And then I'm going to tie it in a bow. And you can add charms and all sorts of things to these strings if you like. That's just never really, I mean, as you know, I barely do charms on the hanging off of the side. I don't know why. Jewelry just isn't my thing, I guess. I don't know. But you definitely can do that if that's what you like to do. Alright, so that is going to be our video for today. I will be adding the cover on here and closure. I'm going to use this beautiful sari silk, and it'll probably go under this and tie, around. So that's the plan anyway. So this will get attached today. I just wanted to get the signature sewn in first. I don't know why. It probably would have been fine either way. I just thought it might be harder to sew it in with that on the front. So, I hope you guys have an awesome day, and thank you so much to all of you, all my subscribers who really support me and just are awesome. You guys are the best. So have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye now.